Hello MotoGP fans, welcome back to ZNGP. In an unexpected twist during free practice for the 2024 Indonesian Grand Prix, reigning world champion Pecco Bagnaia found himself without fuel, but it was Marc Márquez who stepped in with an act of sportsmanship. This moment has sparked much speculation about their future, especially with rumors of Marquez joining Ducati. Let's take a closer look. MotoGP world champion Francesco Bagnaia faced a déjà vu moment during practice at the 2024 Indonesian Grand Prix, reminiscent of his struggles in the previous year. As Bagnaia reflected on Friday's difficult session at Mandalika, the Ducati rider expressed frustration, but also relief, after making key improvements. Here's more on how Bagnaia is handling the challenges at Mandalika. MotoGP fans witnessed a jaw-dropping moment during Friday practice at the Indonesian Grand Prix as Marc Márquez executed one of his signature front-end saves on his Ducati. The Gresini rider brought back memories of his Honda days with a 65-degree save, one of the most extreme we've seen from him in a while. Here's the full story on Márquez's heroic save and his struggles at Mandalika. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Friday's free practice sessions are typically routine, with riders focused on fine-tuning their setups for the weekend ahead. However, this session took a surprising turn when Bagnaia ran out of fuel on the Mandalika circuit. Stranded on track, Bagnaia had no choice but to wait for assistance, and it came in the most unexpected form. Marc Márquez, known for his fierce rivalry with Bagnaia, approached the stranded Ducati rider and towed him back to the pits. The moment was captured by fans and cameras alike, creating an iconic image of camaraderie between two of MotoGP's fiercest competitors. Watching the event unfold from the Ducati garage was Gigi D'Allegna, the general manager of Ducati course. With rumors swirling about Marquez potentially joining Ducati next season, D'Allegna couldn't help but smile as he witnessed the unique collaboration between the two riders. They are two of the best riders in the championship, but they certainly have very strong characters. It's important that we can manage them very well next year. Quote from Gigi D'Allegna. D'Allegna acknowledged that having both Bagnaia and Marquez on the same team could either be a recipe for success or a challenging situation to manage. He expressed hope that the partnership would bring a perfect year for Ducati rather than lead to conflicts between the two star riders. The gesture between Marquez and Bagnaia sent shockwaves throughout the paddock and among MotoGP fans worldwide. On a day that would typically go unnoticed, this moment became the highlight of the weekend. Many fans took to social media to express their admiration for the sportsmanship displayed by Marquez. The camaraderie between the two riders, despite their competitive nature, is a reminder of the respect that exists among MotoGP athletes. While they may be rivals on the track, moments like these transcend the sport and highlight the shared experience of racing at the highest level. As the Indonesian Grand Prix continues, fans are eagerly anticipating the showdown between Bagnaia and Marquez, especially after this surprising moment of cooperation. The weekend promises to deliver more surprises, but none may be as memorable as this unique collaboration between two of the sport's biggest stars. While the 2024 Indonesian Grand Prix has only just begun, Marquez towing Bagnaia back to the pits has already made it an unforgettable weekend. As the championship battle intensifies, it's moments like these that remind us why MotoGP is so captivating. Bagnaia, who narrowly made it into Q2 for Saturday's qualifying, found himself reliving the difficult experience he had at Mandalika last season. In 2023, Bagnaia struggled in Q1 but went on to stage a remarkable comeback from 13th on the grid to win the Grand Prix. However, on Friday of the 2024 Indonesian Grand Prix, Bagnaia once again struggled to find pace, particularly on the medium rear tire. Speaking after the session, Bagnaia described his frustration. "I was reliving the nightmare from last year. It was the same feeling, but luckily when we put the soft rear on, everything started to work again like normal." Quote from Bagnaia. Bagnaia's team spent much of the session experimenting with different setups, but the Ducati star was unable to get comfortable with the right-hand corners on the medium tire. It wasn't until the final stages, when he switched to a soft rear tire, that his pace improved dramatically. After struggling in the early part of the session, Bagnaia found solace in the fact that his lap times improved significantly with the soft rear tire. This allowed him to break into the top 5. As soon as we put the soft rear tire on, everything started to work again. Very happy for this, we managed to drop the lap times a lot. Bagnaia was clearly relieved after the turnaround, though the rapid improvement left the team puzzled. Bagnaia noted the strange jump in performance simply by switching tire compounds. It's something we have to understand because it's strange that just changing the medium to the soft improved the lap time like this. But it's given us a lot of relief after what happened today. Meanwhile, Bagnaia's Ducati teammate, Enea Bastianini, was in top form, setting a new lap record and topping the timesheets on Friday. Jorge Martin, Bagnaia's chief title rival, was also strong, finishing just behind Bastianini. Both riders had impressive long-run pace on the medium tire, adding pressure to Bagnaia as the weekend progresses. Despite his struggles, Bagnaia remains optimistic about his chances for the rest of the weekend. He believes that he is closer in pace to Bastianini and Martin than his Friday performance might suggest. I think for tomorrow I feel good. We'll use the soft again in the sprint, and I saw Enea and Martin were doing fantastic laps. But I think we are more like them than what happened today. Looking ahead to Saturday's qualifying and the sprint race, Bagnaia plans to stick with the soft rear tire, which he believes is the key to unlocking more consistent pace. The reigning world champion knows that the competition is fierce, but he's determined not to dwell too much on Friday's challenges. I don't want to think too much about what happened today, Bagnaia concluded. Francesco Bagnaia faced a tough start to his Indonesian Grand Prix weekend, but with improvements on the soft rear tire, the Ducati star is optimistic about his chances moving forward. As the title fight intensifies, Bagnaia will need to overcome these early challenges to keep pace with his rivals. Stay tuned for updates from Mandalika. Marc Márquez has always been famous for his spectacular saves, lifting his bike from extreme lean angles with nothing but his knee and elbow. And on Friday, he reminded everyone why he's known for that skill. During Friday's afternoon session at the dusty Mandalika circuit, Marquez lost the front end of his Ducati in a sharp corner. But in a classic Marquez move, he used his knee and elbow to bring the bike back up, avoiding what looked like an inevitable crash. This save, however, was different. It was the first of such magnitude since his switch to Ducati. With Ducati, the best one. The best one, and the only one at the moment. Sometimes I've had a small save, but it's been a long time since one of those big ones. Quote from Marquez. Marquez credits the low grip conditions at Mandalika for allowing him to pull off such a dramatic save, something he couldn't do at more grippy circuits like Misano. Here you have more margin. But now the track will get better, and there will be less and less feedback to do these kinds of saves. 5. Despite the stunning save, Marquez's overall performance during Friday practice left much to be desired. He could only manage 6th and 7th places in the sessions, far from the dominant showing some had expected after his recent strong form at Aragon. Marquez admitted that while the save was thrilling for fans, it highlighted an underlying problem. He wasn't feeling comfortable on the bike. The save is good for the show, but it means I don't feel comfortable and we need to keep improving. He pointed out that Mandalika has always been a challenging track for him, and that same struggle resurfaced during Friday practice. While Marquez showed improvement in FP2, he admitted there's more work to be done, particularly in Sector 2, where he was losing time. One of Marquez's major challenges this year has been managing the rear tire's effect on his cornering, something he had hoped to overcome with the return of the stiffer rear construction at Mandalika. However, the problem persisted, with Marquez struggling to deal with the rear tire pushing the front into corners. In Red Bull Ring I felt better and better, but today again here I'm struggling, especially with the new tire. With the used tire I feel not bad, but with the new tire I was struggling a lot on the time attack. Marquez was particularly concerned about his performance on fresh tires, where he struggled to match the pace of other Ducati riders like Enea Bastianini and Jorge Martin, who set impressive lap times on old mediums. As Marquez heads into Saturday's qualifying and the sprint race, he knows he has work to do. While his raw talent is evident, with moments like Friday's incredible save, he needs to find a solution to his ongoing struggles with the Ducati's rear tire behavior. We need to keep improving. For tomorrow, I need to improve a bit in Sector 2, which is where I'm struggling the most, Marquez concluded. Marc Márquez may have thrilled the crowd with a vintage save, but as the Indonesian Grand Prix weekend continues, he faces significant challenges to maintain pace with his rivals. Can Marquez and his Ducati team find the solutions they need in time for Sunday's race? While Krafar's insight has helped shed light on the situation, it's clear that more needs to be done to ensure transparency. And this is your MotoGP news update. See you in the next video. Who is set to take over from Freddie Spencer